Hey, welcome back, y'all. Jason and Michelle here. We are the Ekko Nesters, and we've got Bad Betty with us. Those that have been following along, you'll know Bad Betty is a 2022 Winnebago Ekko built on a Ford chassis, Ford Transit to be exact, all-wheel drive. And Bad Betty has gone through some transformations. She's got her Raptor grill, her CA-tuned recovery package with the Warren winch, bunch of other things we've been doing. But we're not really here to talk about our mods today. We're here to talk a little bit about a tech tip. The item that I kind of figured out and discovered on Bad Betty, if you will, this 2022 Ekko, has to do with the cam locks. And basically, probably on most RVs that have rear access panels for storage, accessing propane tanks, heating units, garage, etc., this is a pretty typical item on these. The thing that caught my attention is I was washing the rig the other day and Bad Betty needed a bath, and it happened to be this back door here. And this one I haven't fixed yet, and I haven't actually fixed a lot of them because I wanted to show this example when I discovered it. But if you notice this huge gap here, but as you travel down, it actually tightens up really nice. So I started washing Bad Betty, and I was like, I wonder if there's something caught in the door. Opened up the garage here, couldn't find anything. I said, well, everything looks pretty good, and I happened to grab that. And if you notice, that little latch there that secures itself is loose. So the first thing I did is, well, I'll just tighten up the nut and the bolt here, and I'll just shut it. Well, the problem didn't change. It stayed the same. So I got to thinking, well, what is it that's causing that? Well, I took a look down here, and I counted back about 4 threads. And I said, well, these are very adjustable, especially when they're loose like this from the factory. And I counted back 4 threads, and I grabbed my ratchet, my open-end wrench. These happen to be 15 millimeter. Yours could be the same or different. And I said, okay, once I got 4 back, another way to do this is probably grab a set of calipers, take a look at the one that speaks best to you, and then just go ahead and make the adjustment from there. So I've just turned that back 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just gonna lock this onto the back nut here and just give it a little snug. It's not gonna require much. You're literally just trying to snug it up. There's no real torque value I'm aware of. Ideally, you want that to be in the same position. And then we'll just test it here. Close the bottom one, secure the top. And as you can see, that seam is consistent. I'm no longer going to get water in there, air, debris, gaps. It's going to actually improve the life of your seal because it's not exposed. Now, as you can see, it's pretty consistent throughout. Especially with this door, it really kicks out here at the bottom, and this is where our outdoor tailgate package is. And I'm going to swing you around the other side because, again, this rig has several of these access doors, and I'm not going to bore you guys by tightening every single one of them right now, but this is the one that I would say, I correct myself, bothered me the most. If you look at how much play is in there, it literally has to do with the adjustment there. This side's nice and tight, and here's my lithium battery package, my inverter. I definitely don't want water, and I don't want elements getting into there. Now, we're gonna go on to one more tip here, but before I do it, I just need to throw a little disclaimer out there. We're not associated or affiliated with any of the companies we're gonna talk about, any of their products. Everything on here we've purchased, but there's another issue, at least that the Winnebago Ekkos have. I can't speak to any other vehicles, but these cam locks, if you look here, and I know it's getting dark out, there's no real distance or gap between there. What's happening now, as I turn this, it's starting to mar the finish of my vehicle. And that's not the only place it's happening. And apparently, when I've read online and I've kind of gone onto some of the chat forums, if you will, I started seeing a lot of people having this problem. The nice thing is, there's a company out there, and we're ordering a set tomorrow. It's Freedom Van Gogh. Grant did an excellent video on it, and what they did is he created for $25, 32 pieces, because that's what you're going to need for this rig, a spacer washer is what I'll refer to it as, that gives just the proper amount of space. It's actually engineered for this. His tech tip shows on his video. We'll try to put a link there so you can see it. Pretty straightforward. He did an excellent job, bottom line. We're going to order those, about $25. I'm not going to have this continue to happen to the body of my paint, the wear and tear that doesn't need to happen. Again, I don't know if that product's available for other vehicles or it's a similar offset. The other thing I discovered is on the 2023 models, they actually built a little washer, a spacer that allowed that gap to exist. So Winnebago Ekko is aware of this problem apparently. I'm sure if we dig hard enough, we'll probably find out what is the item that they're selling. Is there a replacement part number? You can talk to your dealer about that. You can see if that can be done under warranty. But I really don't want to go through all that drama for $25 in a perfect fix and a solution to preserve our finish, our paint. So I hope that tech tip is of value to you. I hope it's helped you. Again, I know it's important enough to check those. There's lots of reasons we talked about. If you have other ways that you can share with us of how you've done some corrective actions similarly or some good input, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. In the meantime, thank you for joining Michelle and I with Ekko Nesters. Please hit the subscribe button if you're interested and follow along. We got a lot more things coming in the near future. Appreciate you. Be safe out there.